Pleasant morning, students. Welcome to the online class 5th standard, lesson number 8, Agriculture. Today we are going to learn about agriculture and also little bit about farmers. Students, do you know who are the farmers? Farmers, one who grow the crops in the field. They are known as farmers. So even among you also there are many people from farmers family. Okay, they occupy agriculture. These farmers also known as agriculturalists. Okay, agriculturist. So they usually they engage? They engage by growing crops. It means sowing seeds during the rainy season, especially in the month of June when the rain starts. So these farmers go to their field and they plow the land and they involve in different activities. They plow the land, sow the seeds, and finally after they will do harvesting, okay, and finally threshing. Okay, so this is how the procedure goes in the agriculture. So India is a land of villages, okay, and many people of the Indians occupied agriculture. So farmers are very important. They are the backbone of the country. So without them, we won't get any food crops. So that's why even the Rashtrakavi Kuvempu also has written one of the poem Uduva Yogiya Nodali Uduva Yogi. It means the flowing man, okay, is a farmer, and Annava Dudidavane Tyagi. It means he is growing the crops. Because of him, we are eating food today. Because of farmers, we are getting rice, ragi, wheat, paddy. So these kind of crops are from the hands of the farmers. Okay, so that's why we should respect the farmers because they are the food providers. Okay, so without them we won't get any food. Okay, so in this poem he has also composed farmers who provide food for us. Agriculture, of course, is the main occupation in the country. So agriculturalists engage themselves in the agriculture activities. So now let us understand certain information about agriculture and agriculturist. Okay, so they have given we need to understand the various stages of agriculture. Okay, so the various stages of agriculture and from where we get food, and at the same time we also understand the problems of farmers, labor, small scale farmers, large scale farmers, and also let us understand about rain agricultural land and irrigated agricultural land, and also we will understand about the drip irrigation, spray irrigation, and how the crops are grown, different methods are used, and we also collect the information about intensive farming, mixed farming, horticulture, and modern and traditional methods of storage of grains. Okay, so page number 96 they have given. Already I told you India is the land of several villages, so many people occupied agriculture. So we have about 30 districts. Okay, in Karnataka we have 30. Actually, yeah, in here we are there. They have given in 30 districts. Okay, so they have listed some of the crops which which district grows which now type of crops. So they have listed here. Example, Bidar, you can see red gram, wheat, jowar, sugarcane. In Mysore, you can see paddy, ragi. Okay, so then tobacco, sugarcane, groundnut. So like that, even in Bangalore urban, ragi, horse gram. Okay, then we can also see in Kodagu coffee, orange, rubber, pepper, ragi, paddy. Here the people occupy more plantation farming. I will tell you what is plantation farming. Okay, and of course make the list of main crops of your district. You have to list down in your district what kind of crops you are going to grow. We are going to grow. In the page number 98, they have given the different activities of a farmers here. They have given in the right side. They have given the statements. So you have to match properly which suits to this picture. They have given jumbled. So you have to correctly match it. Now example they have given here. I have numbered. So first picture which shows farmer is actually is harvesting. Okay, so manually or with the help of machines. So here this farmer is manually harvesting, and this person, second person, you can see this person is protecting the crops from animals. Okay, birds, insects comes, so he is chasing the birds and animals. And third picture it says that so he is using chemicals, okay, pesticides, and is also they are throwing fertilizers, okay, in order to protect the crop at the same time for the proper growth of the crop. And fourth one you can see, fourth picture, in this actually they have given fourth. This is the fifth picture because they have given in second column two pictures. Okay, in the fifth pictures you can see that what it shows. So it is actually they are pumping the water from the well. Okay, so they are doing irrigation for the proper growth of crops. And fifth picture which shows that it is plowing the land. A woman is plowing the land. You just imagine, even women also is able to do farming. Okay, and through that we can understand many people many people occupation is agriculture in India. And the sixth picture you can see the people are sowing the seeds of to grow the crops. Next you can see page number 99. There are different types of labors. One is farm labors, second small scale farmers, and third one is large scale farmers. Now let us understand one by one. In the page number 100 they have given three women pictures. They have given Rangamma, Julakamma and Manjamma. Among these three they have given the story. So these stories related to farm labor, small scale farmers and large scale farmers. So they have given Rangamma is a small scale farm laborer, and Julakamma is a small scale farmer, and Manjamma is a large scale farmers. They have differentiated. Okay, who are farm laborers? Farm laborers means they go and work in the field. They don't have proper field. They don't have their own field, so they work for the daily wages. They are called farm laborers. Second, we can see small scale laborers means they don't have much land, maybe around 1 acre or half acre of land. So they work, and of course they run their family. Whatever the crop comes through the agriculture, through farming, and they sell and they run their family. So they are called small scale farmer. But when we discuss about the large scale farmer, Manjamma is a very successful lady agriculturist. She owns 10 to 15 acres of land in the village, and apart from farming, she also raised some cattle, and also she has practiced mixed farming. So the source of income flow from every side. So through that she has become a successful farmer in the village, and she has become one of the model farmer, and the people accepted her. Yes, she is one of the large scale farmer. Okay, so this is the difference between farm labor and small scale farmer as well as large scale farmer. And now let us understand in the next page 101 some of the activity they have given. Okay, so that please go through and you read once, and next we'll open the page number 102, small scale farmers. Already I told you what is the difference between small scale farmer and large scale farmers. So they have given small scale farmers are not, they have shortage of money to cultivate the land. The land holding is little and earning is also not sufficient to lead the family, and many times do not get water for the land because of the poor irrigation. They lack a proper guidance. This is the condition of the small scale farmers. And if we take large scale farmers, they purchase and use modern agricultural equipments. Example, we can say tractor. Okay, and they use fertilizers, chemical fertilizers to sustain, protect the crops, and the pesticides. They utilize the monetary facilities of banks. They get loan facility from the banks, and they do the agriculture. The investment is more. Okay, and at the same time, they will be having highest land, about 10 to 15 acres, and their income is high as they grow different crops because their land is more, and they can grow multi crops in the now same regions. Okay, if the land is vast, so the people can grow multi crops. Okay, this brings definitely the highest income. So that is the difference between large scale and a small. Example, if they hold only half acres of land, okay, so or we can say that still little, so they can't grow mixed crops. Okay, so because they have shortage of land, and here you can see the investment is high, the people will get loans, highest loan, and at the same time, so they grow varieties of crops, and they get their income is highest. Okay, that is the difference between small scale and large scale farmers. And if we take the condition of the farmers when they do agriculture, so many people depend on the rain. Okay, so we can say that monsoon. Okay, so many people depends on the monsoon. Monsoon plays a gamble with the farmers. Sometimes monsoon occurs no late, or sometimes it is heavy, sometimes it is less. So but the farmers, of course, they depend on the monsoon rain. And here some of the agriculturists, or we can say that farmers, depends on the rain fed agriculture land, and some of the farmers irrigated agriculture land. Okay, so here also the problem, when the people occupy this rain fed agriculture, they have to wait for the rain, and they cannot provide sufficient water for their crops, and this is known as kuski or dry land cultivation. Rain fed cultivation also known as kuski or dry land cultivation. Okay, where the people depends on the rainfall, okay, in order to grow the crops. Next, irrigated agriculture land means the people never wait for the rain, they depend on borewell, underground water, okay, tube wells. Okay, so and what they do, through the help of the bore well, or through the help of the well, they supply the water to their agricultural field. This is known as irrigated agricultural land. Okay, where the people are able to supply sufficient water to their agricultural field in order to grow the crops. That is known as irrigated agricultural land. Apart from, now we can also understand one more, in the agriculture, especially in the irrigation system, the people follow the two different method to supply the water to their field. One is drip irrigation and another one is spray irrigation. We can also call it as a sprinkles. Okay, drip irrigation means here, in order to, this is one of the best idea. Okay, drip irrigation to, in order to save the water. and where they can provide sufficient water to the root of the crops directly. So that is the importance of this drip irrigation. And if we take spray irrigation, where spray irrigation, especially drip water is applied to the roots in the drip irrigation. At the same time, in the spray irrigation, water is sprayed over crops uniformly, like a rain, or we can say as in rainfall. Okay, so that is the difference of irrigation. Okay, different method of irrigation. We can say that two types: one is drip irrigation and the spray irrigation. Apart from that, there are other type of irrigations that you are going to study in the next class. Okay, now let us understand about two types of irrigation. And next we can understand in the page number 106. In the certain agriculture lands, soil has deficient nutrients, so it is less fertile. It is called barren land. It means like a desert where no crops can be grown. That is known as a barren land, which is not suitable to grow the crops, and it's not so easy. But recently plants such as Jatropha and Pangamia or honge, which is yield biofuel, are being grown in the barren land also. It means you can see, we can understand the development of the agriculture. We can understand even the barren land also can be converted into fertile land today. And next page 107 we will understand about two important farming. One is organic farming, another one is chemical farming. In the organic farming, very simple, where only compost or cow dung is used for the growth of the crops or to do the agriculture, and where no pesticides, no chemicals are used in the organic farming. It is healthy farming, and people nowadays, most of the people have adopted this kind of organic farming, and where many crops are grown, and even small size of land is enough to do this organic kind of a farming. And one more, even today, one more farming is developed, that is terrace farming. Okay, even most of the companies have adopted. Okay, ITBT companies have adopted terrace farming. Okay, so that is one more farming, one more method where the people grow the crops on the terrace. Okay, and another farming is chemical farming. So chemical farming where the people grow the crops by using fertilizers, chemicals. So that is the difference between organic farming and chemical farming. Okay, I am not going to explain so much for you, because you should know the difference between organic farming and chemical farming. And apart from that, in the page number 108 they have given the two types of, again, intensive farming in the agriculture land, intensive farming and mixed farming. In the intensive farming, in the same land, the people grow jowar, wheat, paddy, ragi, sunflower, cotton, horse gram, okay, etc. That system is known as intensive farming. What is mixed farming? Mixed farming means in addition to cultivation of crops, the people also rear the cattle, poultry, they do sericulture, okay, and apiculture also. Okay, they done, I mean, apart from growing crops, the people also rear the animals, poultry, keeping poultry, honeybee. These are some of the examples for mixed farming. Okay, and one more type of farming is plantation farming. In this plantation farming, the people plant they do plantation. So that's why it is known as plantation farming. Example, we can say plantation farming, example, coffee, vegetables, growing fruits. Okay, so these are some of the example for the plantation farming. Okay, and we can say that it is, we can take it most of the time garden, especially when the people do gardening. Okay, so the people will adopt this plantation farming. Next, the last point is about storing method, or storing the grains, also very important. Okay, so in the olden days the people used to store the crops, okay, by using different methods. Okay, so the first two pictures you can see, one is you can see that pit, or we can say that they have dig one of the pit in order to store the grain. That is called underground granary. In the olden days, like our forefathers, okay, during that time they used to dig the pit, and in order to in order to preserve the crops, so after that they used to close it. And one more you can see that is called actually hageu, but one more is a bamboo granary. Bamboo granary means storing the grain crops. Okay, so they used to construct, I mean, bamboo, by using bamboo sticks. The people construct a granary. So in that the people used to store the grains. That is called bamboo granary. These are traditional methods. But here you can see that even government also has a granaries. So by paying little amount or little money, so the farmers can store their crops here. Okay, so that is about the storage of the grains. Okay, so different methods how the farmers used to store their store their grains in order to protect the crops. Okay, and last point they have given, if the cultivator harvests, the whole world rejoices. If cultivator fails to harvest, the whole world sows. It means if the farmers are there, we can live happily. If the farmers never grow the crops, we all will be unhappy. It means they are the people one who provide food for the stomach. It means we can say that they are the people one who are providing all the different types of food crops. So that's why they are telling one of the great lines, if the cultivator harvests, the whole world rejoices. If the cultivator fails to harvest, the whole world sobs. It means whole world suffers, not only one village. So if the farmers are not there to grow the crops, the entire world suffers. Yes, nowadays we can see that there will be flood because of heavy rain. So there will be loss of property, loss of life, at the same time loss of crops. So when these kind of flood occurs, so what happens? Definitely the people are going to face the shortage of food. But what we need to do? Of course, we should respect the farmers. We should encourage all the people to grow the food crops. Okay, so they are very important for our life. Let us salute the farmers, the food providers. Thank you.